The 1920s was a time of fun, diversity, and very much change. Coco Chanel was a major part of these changes, as well as the influence of other changes. Chanel showed importance in the fashion industry and worked at her craft persistently. Her clothing line, perfume line, and fashion icons were some of the most popular in the 1920s. Coco Chanel accomplished a great amount, especially coming from her rough beginnings. After her mother died, she was placed in an orphanage by her father. The nuns at her orphanage taught her to sew, which became her lifelong passion as she grew up. Her past continued to discourage her through her life, but the success of her future was what people saw. Her biggest accomplishment was creating her own clothing line, Chanel. This is one of the most popular brands to this day. Many also appreciate her efforts to make fashion comfortable. Women were expected to wear tight, fancy clothes, but Chanel changed the trends to comfortable and fashionable. Coco Chanel is represented by the theme From Europe to America because she took action when America gained freedom from Britain. They weren't framing around Britain anymore and following their trends in fashion. Chanel can also be represented by the theme It's Not What You Do, and It's Who Notices It. Although Chanel was an incredible designer, part of her popularity came from her timing. She went into business when America was ready for new activists and influence. It was the time that people were noticing new designers, and she was the most popular one. Chanel had a fear of future change and that fashion would become Britain-oriented. She didn't want tight corsets and uncomfortable clothes to become a trend again. She liked her ideas of comfortable fashion and wanted Americans' trends to lead that way. This was the reason she came back to the fashion world after she closed down shop. At age 70, Coco Chanel made a comeback after she closed down her stores in 1939. This was at the beginning of World War II. Styles were becoming what they used to be before Chanel came into the fashion industry. She wanted America to be influenced by her trends again. She had to win over many critics who were against her, but she became popular again and created a new fragrance, Chanel No. 5, and an essential to this day, the little black dress. Coco Chanel tried to hide her private life because it saddened her. She didn't like her life before her popularity because she was ashamed of it. "I invented my life because I didn't like my life," was one of her memorable quotes. Her life in public was what she decided to make of it because she erased her childhood. She changed her birth name, Gabrielle Chanel, to Coco Chanel. This made her feel more confident. Her private life personality was shy and self-conscious. She often felt out of place and unaware of her true potential. If someone in modern life could relate to Coco Chanel, it would be Ralph Lauren, in my opinion. He relates to Coco Chanel because he started new trends that change the ways women and men dress. He created the women's suit that came from the idea of the men's suit. This is similar to Chanel's women's trousers that became popular in her time. Both designers value comfort as much as style. Lauren's classic short-sleeved polo is essential, just like Chanel's little black dress. If I were a history teacher giving my students a speech based on the life of Coco Chanel, I would encourage them to persist through life like Chanel did. I would tell my students to make an effort to create change if they feel one is needed. She felt that there was something missing in the fashion industry in the 1900s, so she created new styles and fashion icons that became a huge success. You may not always or ever succeed, but the chances of succeeding are 0% if you don't try. Discovery comes from persistence, not just success. Chanel wasn't afraid to fail, and that made her successful. If she was afraid, she would have gotten nowhere. If I had the opportunity, I would be friends with Coco Chanel because of her hard work to create change and her hidden personality. She was shy in private and tried to hide her shyness in public, so only close friends and family knew her true personality. I predict that she was an interesting, intelligent, and humble person because of her accomplishments. The media views her as self-conscious and doubtful, but I view her as hardworking and one of the bravest women in her century.